What's up guys? Welcome to my home office. In today's video, I'm gonna give you an entire office tour of everything I spent money on to get my studio set up for you guys. I mean, I poured a lot into some of these YouTube videos, but I also poured a lot of money into getting my home office set up. So today, I'm gonna give you a full rundown of my studio, how much money I've spent on getting this entire setup going, and we'll take it all the way to the end where I'll even tell you how much tax savings that I received by writing all this off. Let's get started. All right guys, I'm gonna pretty much start off with what was the cheapest stuff I spent my money on all the way up to the most expensive stuff. And it has to start off with the plants. If you're trying to build a home office, you don't have to go crazy. I spent $20 at Ross getting both of these plants. So that would probably be the cheapest thing I have in my office. The next would be my memory foam. So I have foam running across the top and I have foam running across my back wall over here, just because when I'm seated down, my voice can ricochet off the walls. I want my voice to die right when it hits the wall so that it is a clear, nice sound hanging in on my microphone. I also have these shelves. These shelves cost $25 from Amazon. I'll make sure to put the link below. If you guys look here, I have these lights. I love these lights. These are vintage lights that I got off Amazon. They're hanging lights. It just gives my entire home office a different feel from having traditional lights or a bunch of color crazy lights going on. I wanted something super old school, something warm, something that felt homey while people were learning about tax strategy. These vintage hanging lights are only $20. I also got these additional little items here from Ross. You guys see here, I have a little plant and I have a little ball of whatever. These are only 15 bucks from Ross. Now, next is my ring light, which just hits my right side of my face. This ring light was $120 off of Amazon. Right here, you'll see that I have a Boom Blue microphone. This microphone I love, it's easy. Every time I've ever spent money on getting a boom mic, I've always went the cheap route, and I finally spent a little bit more money on getting a nice boom arm that I can move around, drag and drop, and it's been super nice. This is a blue boom arm. This right here is a Shure SM7B microphone. This ran me 400 bucks, and between the microphone and the boom arm, it was about a total of 500 bucks. The boom arm was only $100. This right here is Tony the Rhino. He is one of my props for my home office. Tony only cost me 15 bucks from Ross. Right here, you guys will see that I have my Shure microphone comes directly into my cloud lifter. My cloud lifter allows me to get more gain, and it directly connects to my Focusrite. The cloud lifter was 150 bucks, and this Focusrite was 160 bucks. Right here, as you guys can see, I have a Mac Mini. This was 650 bucks. This is all I need right here to be able to edit off of, to be able to upload videos. I personally don't do a whole lot of editing myself. I have an entire editing team, but I do need a computer that can house a lot more memory than my laptop. Right here, I have a Elgato Stream Deck. This Stream Deck right here is how I shuffle between my iPad, my webcam, my camera, if I'm on Zoom calls. This was 150 bucks. This right here is a Joby tripod, just to hold up the camera. I think this is a basic tripod for anybody who's getting started. It's sturdy, it does the job. This was 145 bucks. I kind of like to stick with Apple products just to make things easier for myself. So I went and got the Apple keyboard and the Apple mouse. Between these two products, it was about 200 bucks. Right here, I have a 12.9-inch iPad Pro that I like to do a lot of my examples for tax strategies on. You guys love when I pull out the iPad and I give examples on the iPad. That was 1,300 bucks. This here in front of me is the Sony a7S III. I love this camera. This camera has been the powerhouse for me. I get 150% of my content done on this camera because it's been the easiest camera for me to just plug and get all my videos uploaded and sent over to my content team. This was $4,500. The lens that I like to shoot with is the Sony FE 28mm. This right here will run you about $450 for this lens. It is a base lens if you're shooting content and you want to have wide angles. It's perfect if you're somebody who's just new to getting content going. Also, in addition to that, I have this big gigantic light that shines directly down at me. So this is like my left focus light. This right here is a Godox VL150. Love the Godox because it's very powerful, it's quiet. I currently only keep my Godox up to 7%, but this goes all the way up to 100%, and it can just brighten up anybody's face at any time of the day. This right here will run you an additional $450. So as we continue, guys, I also had gotten this sign just to give my whole entire studio a little bit more flair. You know, as you're watching videos, you want to kind of associate the person who you're watching with their brand. My brand is Tax Alchemy. I am the tax alchemist. I learn about tax strategy and I communicate it in a much easier format to other people. And if you've been following me, you guys know that I call myself the tax alchemist. My brand is Tax Alchemy. It's also my academy where I teach other real estate investors how to use real estate to avoid tax. Over here, I have some of my first cameras that I ever purchased. This right here means a lot to me because when I was first getting into sports and training, I wanted a camera that I can take pictures of myself, and then eventually I started recording on this camera first before I spent money on the A7S III. This is the Sony A6000. Love this camera because it came in all white, and my two favorite colors are white and black. So when I saw this camera, I was like, wow, this is super rare. But then I found out later, this camera can't really have a whole lot of attachments to it. So it's truly like a beginner camera. Definitely means a lot to me, and maybe a camera that I'll auction off on the YouTube channel. So keep following me. Right here, I have a Super Bowl ticket because I'm going to the Super Bowl this year. This does not have any value to you, but it has a whole lot of value to me. Thank you, Mom. And right here, I have the G Master Sony FE 1.8 20G. This right here is for wide angles. Typically, I use the G Master when I'm filming out in my living room, or sometimes I'll go to my office when I'm filming in a big space and I want to make the space look bigger. I'll use my G Master. It gets a great video on my Sony A7S III. This G Master is $900. This right here is a Blackmagic 4K. This is the heavy duty, the Dwayne Johnson, the Rock when it comes to getting video content done. If you're a cinematic person, you're looking to film videos that are long form videos, such as like podcast interviews, or you're trying to do movies, this would be more the camera for you. If you're trying to do vlog content, quick video content, the Sony A7S III is perfectly fine. But the Blackmagic 4K has been nothing short of amazing since I got it. This right here, the frame will run you about $1,300. And then I got the Sigma 18-35 millimeter. That will run you about an additional $600. So all in all, this is about a $1,900 camera. This little side table right here also came from Ross. I got it because one, I love white. As you guys know, I'm a big white person. Marble is like the coolest to me. I love marble, so anything marble I love. And then it has this gold trim. As you guys know, my Tax Alchemy colors are black and gold. I got this table for 60 bucks, as well as this table right here. I got the same kind of side table with the design for 60 bucks. This L-shaped table that I do 100% of my content on actually cost me only 200 bucks from Amazon. And this chair that I have behind me that I sit my beautiful chocolate booty on cost me about 150 bucks from Staples. You've gone through my entire home office. You see here that really isn't too complex. It really is all centered on lighting and all centered on the backwash. I think personally, if you're trying to build a really good YouTube channel, it's important that you choose a destination in your home where you feel comfortable, someplace where you can just go and have everything already set up for you with the click of a button. All your lights can turn on and all you have to do is just press play. Another thing that also you might want to invest in is getting one of these cam links. It allows for me to be able to actually take the 4K video and transfer the 4K video to my monitor via this little attachment here. So this right here will run you an additional $150. All in all, I spent about $12,600 on my home office, guys. Again, at a 32% marginal tax bracket, we're looking at about $4,000 in tax savings. So I dished out about $12,600 to get this whole room set up. I'm saving about $4,000 on my taxes. So spending money and writing it off, it's not a one-for-one tax savings. I'm not getting a tax credit from writing all this stuff off. I'm getting a tax deduction, which means it reduces my taxable income. If you guys ever wondered if you could write all of this stuff off, the answer is yes, I'm doing it every single day. If you have questions around how you should be writing stuff off in your home office, feel free to visit the links below. Also, additionally, I'll do it upon myself to give you guys the links to all of this stuff that I bought in here in case you want to get your home office set up. I want to make sure you have access to all that information below. All right, guys, now let's talk about what I feel like is important if you're looking to build a personal brand. Actually, I'll give you 3 tips. Tip number 1 is don't go spend money on all this stuff. Don't do it right away, at least. I didn't. When I got started out building my personal brand, I was really just recording off of an iPhone. Then I only spent $500, maybe $600 on getting that Sony a6000, the white camera that you guys saw earlier. Other than that, those are like the only 2 items I really spent money on, which means a lot wasn't coming out very great, but I didn't care. I knew that content was important and I started pushing out my content. So tip number 2 is push out your content. If you guys go back and look at some of my very first YouTube videos when I was flipping a whiteboard in my living room, you realize that the sound quality was horrible. I had very little lighting. I was shooting at nighttime. I did not know what I was doing, but I knew I needed to get content out, and I needed to get content out fast without always thinking about it. So I focused on that. And eventually I realized, you know what, it might make sense for me to have a few more items. It might make sense for me to get a microphone. It might make sense for me to buy a better camera. Maybe I'll look up what a lens I need. Maybe I'll invest in a backdrop. Maybe I'll dedicate a room to actually filming. Maybe I'll have someone come in and show me how to set all this stuff up on my computer. And that's my progression. Tip number 3 is don't wait. I started my YouTube channel during COVID, and we've grown it to over 220,000 subscribers. So if you're somebody that's thinking about getting started, there's no better time than now. The marketplace isn't saturated. Find your niche and start putting out content. And my name is Carlton Dennis. My job is to make taxes easy. I want to make sure that you can grow leveraging the tax system. I look forward to continuing to help you. I'll see you on the next video.